Hey there, welcome to what I'm calling my Bored Now, So I'm Doing Stuff series, where I find ways to keep myself entertained in Ark. So I built some stuff, yes. Um, I am looking away, because I don't want to give it away just yet. But yeah, I've been trying to find ways to entertain myself, so, you know, I've been doing the raft living. Um, I like living on a raft. Uh, we turn off leads on our servers, because we figure... I mean, the big reason they came about was because everybody was just living on a raft in Ark. I remember those days. I played very, very briefly on a PvP server, and like everyone had a raft where they were hiding stuff. And then they introduced the leads, and it was like, yeah, okay, cool, cool, cool. You know, I get it, but on single player, I don't need them. I don't want them. I mean, I know they're a great source of prime meat, but I'd rather be able to do some raft living. And I do know that in Survival Evolved, there were no leads on Ragnarok, and I know that became a problem on the public servers, but on the private, let me assure you, it was fantastic. And we did have a mod, excuse me for saying this is the name of the mod, Moby Dickless, and that made them non-aggressive, which was totally fine. You know, we could tolerate that, but yeah, anyway, I just disable them in Survival Ascended. So anyway, I have an error where my, what is this? Cyber Structures plus Tech Replicator goes from this size to ginormous and sticks through the floor and all that kind of good stuff. So I picked it up and took all the stuff out of it. That's why my inventory is so full. I have infinite weight on. And I was going to replace it, and then I noticed this is an option now. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to show people this. Look at that. That looks so stinking cool. I mean, it'll probably still get overly large again, but oops, that stays with me. Yeah, that's so stinking cool. Let me put all this stuff away. Oh, why do I have a Direbeardermis on me? Oops. That's not supposed to go there either. Okay, so I got a lot of junk on me. It's just typical. I carried everything with me. I was going to look for my ice wyvern because I want to grab its skin real quick. I was playing around with this. Yeah, look at this. That Tapper Replicator is so cool. It seems to happen more when it's... I can't tell if it happens more when it's on or off, but yeah, it's a really annoying bug. Why am I looking in here? My ice wyvern should be in here. That one has cool colors, I think. Looks interesting. I think we're gonna... Ooh. Oh, that's right, that's that purple one. I mean, that's cool, but I don't think that's the one I want. I think I want my other ice wyvern. Yeah, this one. Yeah, we're gonna try this one out here. And I'm gonna skin this one because I think it's really pretty. Okay, so yeah, I've been bored and I've been finding ways to entertain myself. So in addition to my walks, I've been trying to build smallish buildings. I don't want to build anything big, just something little, you know, all about that compact living. So I'm gonna show you, I'm like staring at the ground now, my latest project. So I was originally going to do some of the... I downloaded Castles, Keeps, and Forts, and I was using the freemium version of it. And then yesterday I saw that they put the premium version on sale, and I'm like, fine, why not? But I really like it, and I had some fun with it. Lots of cool building options. So I had originally been planning on going with like the Tudor style houses over here. You know, in the original Ragnarok, this area was called Scotland, and this is now called Shellycoat Island out here, which I looked up Shellycoat. It's some sort of Scottish boogeyman, basically. So yeah, it's kind of cool. But to me, this area reminded me of more like a Scandinavian country, so I went with my Viking longhouse. Yay! Yay! Alright, so I know a lot of people build different ones. I looked at a lot of real Viking longhouses and I found a really cool Danish one that I'm like, oh, I could build that, but it was way too big. So I found some other smaller versions of longhouses, and I found some that, you know, other people had made, and I'm like, what is the smallest thing I could do? So I decided to just go with it myself and figure it out. So here you can see the outside of my Viking longhouse. So I had a lot of fun with this. I love that I can do these pillars here at like a 25 angle, and it is a brace, so I figured that was perfect. A lot of the ones I was finding of like, you know, replica Viking longhouses had these braces on the side, and I put a stone pillar down here because otherwise it would just kind of sticking out and looking stupid. And I actually had to put these foundations here because I was having some issues. It just didn't look right if I tried to extend it, and they weren't always snapping correctly together. So I'm like, you know, I'm just going to put stone foundations on each side. I thought about filling it in all the way around with foundations, and I'm like, eh. So, yeah, the generator, I'm not thrilled with that. I kind of put the well there to hide it from view, but even the well's the wrong kind of well. There's a Castles and Keeps well that I will probably swap to, but yeah, I like how it turned out on the outside. It looks pretty cool. That is in there, the Castles and Keeps Industrial Forge. They had a power thing, which had I seen it before I started building, I would have built closer to the water, because it's a water wheel that generates power. It looks pretty cool. But we're going to go ahead and pull out this guy here. I tried... Oh wait, I think I just swapped it with the wrong one. I think I had the right one on my bar. Yep, I did. I tried my Griffin, because my Griffin is so cool looking, and I don't know, it just didn't have the right feel. I think that would be better for something else. But I've been doing bears in all the other houses because it felt very cabin-y. So I was like, I don't want to do a bear. I mean, I have like an extra bear skin that's even in my inventory. But I'm like, no, I want to... it needs some stuff. It needs furniture. It needs, you know, stuff and things. But I was like, let's try this. Alright, so... go ahead and put this on here. Let's see what we can do with this. I really like the old S Plus ones because you can make them move, right? That looks kind of cool. Let's see what other poses we have. You see, the flying's just a little weird. Yeah, I guess that was the first one. Or first change, so that's pretty good. I think that's neat. I don't know if I should just leave it like that. Something feels a little bit off about that. But for now, I'm gonna leave it. Oh, I should put that up on the roof. Is there anywhere on the roof I could put it? Nah, we'll just leave it. I might just get rid of it completely. I'm not sure. I haven't decided, but I figured for now I put it there. But yeah, anyway, here's my little longhouse. You can see there's no proper ventilation for this, and that's okay. That is absolutely okay. So yeah, I used a little bit of like furnishings from Rustic, and I put in some of the Castles and Keep stuff to just kind of add a little something. So this was actually one of their storage barrels. So, how many items does it hold? 100? That's not terrible. So, I was just having a little bit of fun. And that should turn on. There we go. So I need to do a better job of definitely hiding the generator, but I was just like, temporarily. So, put in a couple of beds, and yeah, I kind of like it. I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's very simple. I could definitely fit a lot more crafting stuff in here, but I was just kind of having fun. So, spent a couple hours yesterday working on it. Not a heck of a lot of time, but longer than I like to stream. And you know, I had to try different stuff, so So I use like the scaffolding in the castles and keeps and the vertical posts to sort of um, emulate, you know, braces. Normally I would do them longwise across here, but I was like, you know what? I really like how these look here. And I'm just going to kind of go with that because I think that makes for a pretty neat little build. And you can see these are the castles and keeps utility lanterns. They're not super bright, but I decided to put bright lights on over here. I need to turn these down. I hate the scratching sound that they make, which is why I will never use anything other than what is it, Cyber Structures Plus. Alright, I think I have to turn these on and off to get the sound to stop with them. Because that scratchy noise is just irritating. Still hearing a scratchy noise. Okay, so it didn't copy to them. Update, done. Turn off. Okay, good. I mean, the best part about the cyber structures too is that you can do this with fireplace and turn the volume down to a reasonable amount. See, I don't think this one actually changed its settings like it was supposed to. Here we go. Oh, it is. Okay, update. That's better. I mean, I can deal with this sound as long as it's only coming from one source. I looked to see if there was any sort of settings for this to change its sound, and I don't really see any way to change the sound. So I'm just letting it go, letting it do its thing. But yeah, this is an industrial forge, which I was like, that's cool. I haven't really used it. I just kind of mostly wanted it for looks. I could have probably done like a fireplace, but I don't know. I felt like this was bigger and better. And yeah, it was different. I was having fun. So I built this yesterday, but I kind of realized I was actually in my head using a little bit of the plans for my other friend's house. So I have not finished this. I actually kind of built up on it more and then took it back down because I wanted to test things. But I'm building it with a friend. She made a request for a house. So it's actually her place, and like I said, the reason I took it down was because she was new to learning how to build, and she was so excited and having so much fun. So I just kind of wanted to test it and then go through it step by step with her, but I'll show you some of what I've done. Alright, so let's pull this up. And I'll show you my reference here. Now that I have the castles and keeps on too, I think I'm going to use a different roof. There we go. Because I realized the castles and keeps roof is going to work better than the rustic. I was using the rustic because I had pieces that I couldn't get in other places. So here we go. So I'm going to tab over real quick and pull up on this screen. This is the house I'm basing it off of. So I was worried a little bit at first because I'm like, what is this back here? That is so weird. Is this an AI generated image? And I actually reverse image looked it up because I wanted to see what the backside looked up. And it's not. It's a real cabin. There's a company that actually works with the Amish to get these cabins built for you, which, you know, in a few years we plan on moving. And I'm like, ooh, we could get a piece of land, get a place like this, but I have no idea how much they cost. Okay, anyway, side note, I love it. It's so cute. But anyway, yeah, this is the house I was using as reference. Looks like there's even a cellar here, which I think there's cellar doors now. That could be kind of cool. We could set her up with a little cellar. I know that the pack that they introduced, I think it added basements, but I still haven't even looked into that. All right, so let's see here what we've done a little bit. So let me pull out my structure gun here. Because I was trying to leave this as vanilla as possible. All right, so I put down stone foundations just because I'm a little bit worried about where we are. You can see here's the bridge. This spot is gorgeous here. But up top I did stone gates and spikes. Let me go ahead. I can fly up there. Let me grab my griffin. I'll just put him here where my my rifle is. I'm not going to be taming anything that I know of. I don't even have the stuff on me to tame, so. This tends to work. We have damage to creatures on spikes. It keeps the big guys from just sort of stepping over the spikes, and the spikes stop the little guys. So the problem is they can fall down in here, but my plan is to sort of find a nice way to block her off on either side. So, and I didn't want it to be unattractive from down below and ruin her view, so I was very careful about how I put it and kept looking and checking to see if I was destroying her gorgeous view. Because, let me thank you for your help, Minerva. You're such a good little griffin. Let me show you her view from here. That is incredibly gorgeous. I realize now we might have put her back a little too far. I will probably talk to her and see if she wants to move it up a little bit closer to the edge of the cliff. I was sort of counting things out, and I wasn't quite sure when I counted it out, but, you know, she's, like I said, she's new to building, she's learning. Kind of one of the cool things, too, about finding the real structure is I found the floor plans, because I couldn't tell what was going on with the backside. So I actually might change what I have back here, because it looks like I was right, it is a sunroom in the back. But there's also something else over here too, like a balcony or something. Yeah, so let's go through and see what we got here. So what I did was start off with the pillars and the railing. I knew I wanted to make it one wide. Basically, when I look at a picture like this, and base one of my builds off of a picture. I mean, I know I'm not the best builder, but I'm just going to show you anyway. Because, you know what, sometimes not the best builder in the world, showing you something helps you figure out stuff for yourself. So, like, I pulled this up here, and I started counting out, like, seeing how many across I thought this was. So, or how many across I thought I could reasonably make it. So, I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then for this, I just said this is 4, and that's 2, right? So kind of counting it out and figuring out just how many, you know, blocks you're going to need. I mean, if you look at this, you could say, well, that's 2, but, you know, we have to translate it into Ark. So, and that's 1, you know, and these windows are like 1 high here. So, but yeah, so let's go ahead and go back. So basically I need to get my math correct first, and laying down the foundations is the easiest way to do that, and then you can kind of go from there. So what we did here is I did pillars 1.5 high, and then I did use the rustic roofs, but like I said, I think I'm gonna pick these up and change them to the I think I have the bench on me even. These right here, the settler stuff. Does it need to be placed on a foundation? Yeah, okay. So I'm going to stick it right here for now. And I'll probably, let me see, I need to put that away. Probably use these roofs instead of the rustic ones. Painted, they look a lot better. Unpainted, they are that bright orange color that is just offensive for something like this, but I think I have in here, yeah, paint sprayer with some slate coloring, and it did make it better. I'm just going to go ahead and fly here real quick. Excuse me 1 second, I have to cough. Goodness, sorry about that. Alright. Jade fly. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look. So yeah, I painted these slate. They do look better, but they're not right. They're just not right. So I'm going to go ahead and pick these up. Because all the options that I couldn't get with the rustic I can get with the castles, keeps, and forts. So I know I could be using my structure gun to pick them up, so I'm going to. And I think painted they'll look really nice. So settler is the first tier. That is a free tier. Um, you know, my cats aren't allowed on my desk, but I always find cat hair on my keyboard. Give me 1 second. I tell you. Wait, did I cheat walk yet? Cheat walk. Boom. There we go. So let's go ahead and let me tuck these back in here. And we're going to use some of the castles, keeps, and fort stuff. Hopefully I have enough mats. If not, I can go get some. Oh, look at that. I missed it. Another thing I love about cyber structures. So let's go ahead and come in here. We've got our nice... Oh, yes, and it has the roof eaves and gables and all that kind of good stuff. Oh, rakes, excuse me. Roof rakes. So we're going to want some of the 25s and some 45s here. So let's do, I don't know, for now, I'm going to do 10 because I just want to see how it looks. I may, while she's not on, build her house and then take it apart. I know that sounds weird, but she really wants to build it, so I'm not going to build it without her, but I might also just kind of experiment without her, see how I like things, see how they turn out. Oh, right, because I had enough stuff in there anyway. Okay. Nope, I need more than that game. Come on. I should have made it 20. Let's do that real quick. 20. Boom. I'll just make 10. I know I'm going to definitely need more than that, but we're just experimenting. Yeah, this will be nice too here. I love the quarter ceilings. I really wish some of this stuff was in Ark. The one thing that I don't like about this is both the eaves and the rakes don't have a teeny tiny square. So like if you have an eave and a rake on one, there's like a little gap that is irritating as all get out to me. But on my Viking house, I kind of made up for it by just hanging over with quarter ceilings, but I really would have preferred not to. It was just sort of what I had to do here. So anyway, back to what we've got. So yeah, the majority of this house is, you know, your vanilla structures. So, you know, wood railings, lots of wood quarter walls. So I wanted to kind of raise things up here a little bit because I'm gonna tab back to the picture again. Here we go. You can see right here, this is raised up a bit. I know with this is sort of raised and that kind of cancels each other out, but we have to just kind of go with it. So in order to get this sort of effect here, which I don't think I'm going to do that in the sunroom just because I think that's going to ruin her view, I had to do these nice quarter walls here and then raise her windows up on the side. So let's go back over to the game. So we've got the quarter walls here, and originally I had used the quarters to kind of finagle some doorways like this one here, but over one. But we discovered these quarter windows in the castles, keeps, and forts. So I did a couple quarter glass windows. Up here, however, to get everything to line up, I did have to do a greenhouse glass door, but if you look at this picture again, this window at least looks different. It's probably not. It's probably the exact same kind of window. But I thought, well, maybe we can get away with it. I might have to look and see what else I have. I tried the rustic door, and it just left a huge gap at the bottom. So let me go ahead and tab back. That is one of the things about the wood is you get your huge gaps. So I don't know if you can tell, but right here to kind of hide these gaps, I used pillars. So I made some wood pillars here too to hide the gaps because these are wood walls here. But I took and put the rustic skin that turned them into windows on there. And then over here you can see again, up here, I haven't placed it yet. Now, I did think about maybe if I use that rustic door See, I love using doors as windows. It worked a lot better in Ark Survival Evolved than I think it does in this one. See, I thought about this. So this is a pretty nice door, right? Let me just put it here. I'll put this here. But it doesn't, you see that big gap? I don't like that. There's big gaps on either side of it because it's not really meant to go with the wood frame. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick it up. I don't think I can even finagle it to make it work. So let me go ahead and put this away. As much as I'd like to. Now, I did use right over here. Again, I hadn't really looked through all the castles and keep stuff, just the windows when she wanted windows. Right here, you can see this is rustic wood. There are so many options with rustic wood, but I really like how they look. I think they look really nice. So we're going to go ahead and start taking some of these ceilings and place them. Like I said, I'm going to pick some of this stuff up for the next time I play with her so she can understand and learn how to do these sorts of things. Because I think it's fun. I love building an Ark. So I don't care. I'm going to go ahead and fly to build. It's just easier. I had a buddy that he used to do everything via Tapijara, you know, so he wasn't cheating, and that is some painful stuff. I'm not sure I like this roof. I wonder if there's a better looking one. You know what? Let me try the slate paint on it and see if that freshens it up and makes it look newer. Because I might have to look and see what our other roofing options are in the castles and keeps. Ooh. That was... That actually made it worse. Let's try a different color. I wanted it to have sort of that greenish blue tint to it. So let's see, cosmetics. Item cosmetics. This might be... This looks like the right color. It was way too dark with the rustic stuff. The slate was actually perfect with it. Alright, so let's see. Oh, no. No, no, no. Oh, that looks horrid. Okay. So, let me cheat. Walk. And I'm going to teleport back to my boat and see what kind of options we have under the villager tier, which is also a free tier. Oh, that's settler. So I want villager. Let's see what the roofs look like here. Roof. Well, that could be much nicer. Let's go ahead and make full stuff to make. I don't know, 30. I'll make 10 and 10. Just to play around with and see. I mean, it may be that the rustic roof is the best looking one. Wait, is all you seeing that stupid painting? Why? I'm so sorry. Hopefully now you can actually see the game. I don't know what happened there. I'm so sorry about that. Oh, I'm terrible at this. I don't know why it's just like stuck there on the stream. No clue. Oh no, maybe that's... Okay. There we go. Anyway. Wow, was it? Wow. No, okay, alright, it was just my stream was way behind what I was doing. I'm so good at this, right? You would think I'd, like, just started doing this instead of been doing it for years. I've never got any better at it. That's probably the story of my life. Like, are you new? No. No. I've been doing this for a very long time, and I'm just terrible. Alright, so let me see what this looks like. I'm just gonna place one out. It's not really attractive either. I worry about using that on the boat. There we go. Okay, well, let me look at the freemium one. I'm just gonna make one of these. Or the premium, not freemium. That looks like the rustic roof. Wow. Okay. Rustic may be our best option. I can't believe I'm saying that. Let me just grab these real quick. Oh, nope. Other one. Okay. And back I go. Last remote location. I mean, maybe it's not as awful as I think on this. It's okay. Okay, painted? No. That looks pretty terrible. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pick up this painted stuff real quick. And I'm going to grab these guys. I'm just gonna kind of compare. And I'll have to switch my paint thing back to... Come on. Back to slate. See what I mean about that color just being offensive? I mean, depending on what you're building, right? So, let's see, I need slates. Where is my sprayer? Ah, inventory. Nope. Wait. Equip it. Maybe that'll be easier to see it then. Okay. Slate coloring. Okay. So let's paint this. I don't know which one is the right one, but I'm just doing all of them. There you go. See what I mean? It's paints nicely. It's got that nice tinge of green and blue to it that I was looking for. But, alright, pulling the picture back up. Let's take a look at the picture. There we go. I mean, that's definitely slate tiles, right? So, I hate to say it, but the other one, this one looks more correct. This one's just the right color. Oh man, it's so hard. It really is. It's very hard to figure out, like, what the right thing to do is, so. Honestly, I'm kind of digging the color on this more, even if I can't do the hanging over that I like. But you know what? It's not my house, so she's gonna get to pick. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick these up for now, and actually, you know what? Maybe I should just leave them so she can see them and pick out which one she wants. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look here again with some of the other stuff we have. So like I said, I started out with the porch, and then I did this front area, which was pretty easy. And then figuring out that I needed to do the half pillar and a whole wall up here. I had tested different ways of doing it, and this one actually looked the best and lined up easier. Because otherwise I was fiddling with all sorts of weird mechanics and stuff. So then anyway, I came over here, you know, I did the row of the quarter walls. I did a whole wall. I did the quarter windows. And I realized here, because I did 4 quarter walls. I can pick this up here. That's not going to go anywhere. At this point, I could have just done, yeah, a whole wood wall. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in, because that way I can save my quarter walls for other things. So let's go ahead and plop that in. And then up above it, to get everything to line up, so it was basically the right height, measured up to the 2. So we have quarter, whole, quarter, and that lined up with basically the 2 here. So we've got the harsh slope. And if you're wondering why I'm not using the wood roofs, there's actually a very good reason for that, and that's because, let me make a roof here. Don't ask me what I'm doing, I don't know. Let me go ahead and pull one here. So, you know, this looks nice right here. Let me just plop one down. You know, I have no complaints about the texture. That's a fantastic texture. But when I pick this up and I swap it to, oops, the right angle, it doesn't have that texture on it. Oh wait, quarter roof. Oh, it's still not the right angle, so that's a quarter ramp, quarter stairs. Yeah, so it's not the right angle for what I need. Or not the right, excuse me, not angle. Not the right design on it. I don't want to use that design for what's hanging out. It's just not correct, so that made the wood roof unusable for me. If they had one with the right texture on it, that'd be perfect. I wouldn't have any sort of need to use a different roof, but yeah. Alright, so then anyway, once you get the roof on, it looks a little bit better here too, because I had to play around with the roofs on my Viking house and do a bunch of quarter roofs and all that to get things to line up right. So here we have, right here, just one wall up above, I put a couple of doors. Doors make excellent windows. But everything's nice and lined up. We're lined up with our windows down here, so it's not going to look too weird. And then over here, so I went ahead and put the slope here. There's going to be some quarter walls on either side, and then everything should math out so that over top of this, I should be able to place... And let me just go ahead and... I'm going to go ahead and build it out so you can see. I think I have some more of these in my inventory. Because it's kind of hard to see until you've placed your building pieces. So let's go ahead and head over here. Because I finagled it so that there was, basically a middle piece, if that makes any sense. Oops, I went too far. I'm so happy that they set it up like that, so there were 2 different options. So let's go ahead and grab our slopes. Now, I usually have to argue with the slopes because they don't like being on top of quarter walls. But once you got a few pieces in, they'll snap nicely. So there you have this part of it. And I can just echo it on the other side. But again, I'm trying not to do too much without her because I want her to be able to enjoy doing this stuff. You know, learn. Test things out. Have some fun. I know this is like a slightly different window. I don't like that, but there's not a ton I can do about it. Probably I could adjust the height and make this different size doorway. And that stuff I can fiddle with when she's on and we can work out all that kind of good stuff. So let's go ahead and mess with our roof just a little bit. So I may need to get some more roof pieces or make some more roof pieces. Let me fly. So we come along here and we're gonna go to our standard 45-degree angle roof for right here. Come on, snap properly, please. And this is also why I have to use a non-vanilla roof too, is because we are doing a roof right here. So we're gonna leave that. I'm just gonna fill these. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm not gonna fill this in because we're doing half, so we can see how it looks. All right, so we're gonna need to borrow some of these. And yep, there we go. Come on, place. I had it for a second and then it unsnapped. No, I want it flipped. There we go. And now let's echo that on the other side. Oh, look at that. Okay, so then under the rustic, I think I have one in here. No. I don't think I can swap this one to it. I'll double check, but I think I need to... Yeah, I need to craft a different type of roof for the rustic. So we need these right here. I'm gonna get just one for now. Missing resource metal? Thought I had metal in here. I don't have much. Alright. Yeah, let me walk here. Because I am getting very hungry and thirsty here. Let me grab my griffin. I know where there's some metal very close by, so we'll just go get some. Whee! There's metal in here, or was it just crystal? Oh, it might have just been crystal. A little bit. That's good enough. All I need, all I need. Okay. Oops. Alright, so here we are. Let me go ahead and make my roof. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put the metal in this box so I don't accidentally take it home. Because that sort of thing happens. Oh, crud, I forgot that jar was supposed to go back at my Viking house. Alright, so we need a roof. Crafting. One of these. Alright, let me go ahead and eat more mutton. And we're going to go back to flying. And that's the one I was looking for. Now this is also irritates me because sometimes it just will not snap in the right spot and it drives me utterly insane. There we go. So now the best piece for this, I'm not sure what the best piece is. Probably the easiest and laziest thing to do would just be to come in here and oops, plop that in. I'm sure there's better ways to get everything to line up, like, you know, with the quarter roofs and all that kind of good stuff. So let me go ahead and pick this up here and see if I can find the quarter roofs. So let's see. Shallow. No, I guess it would be under here, right? I don't see quarter roofs for this one. Might actually be easier to do with the other roof than this one, now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, alright, so it would have to be under here somewhere. Oh, yeah, here we go, under this. Let's see if there is anything that would... I don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah, it's not. My only recourse is going to be this. Okay, well that is also another another endorsement for the other roof there. So let me go ahead and pull out my paints. Paint it. Yeah, so let's go ahead and just paint this. Ugh. Yeah, I think the settler roofs have won me over here. Even if that is the right color. Alright. So let's go ahead and see what we can do. I wonder if I can get this to snap in the door frame. I don't think it's going to. No. Alright, that's too bad. It would have been perfect. Would snap for me. So let me go ahead and put this back. And then we're going to need... I don't think I have any more greenhouse glass doors, but... Let me go make some. Be right back to this spot. There we go. This bench. I'm like, I don't even remember anymore. Greenhouse. Wait. What did I see? There we go. Let's make 3 more. Oh yeah, I forget about these. These are really nice windows. I wonder what the rustic greenhouse... Oh wait, no, that is what I have, isn't it? Let's see. Yeah, that is the one I had that wasn't working right. Oh. No, I don't think that's right either. There are ways you can finagle it and like snap a wall behind another wall. I think it's actually rather difficult in Survival Ascended, where it was easy to do in Survival Evolved, with the way the fence foundations worked. I don't think they work quite the same anymore, so it's not necessarily something I really want to try. Grab these. Okay. Teleports. Last remote location. There we go. So, let's go ahead and place this up here. I'm just going to see how that looks. There we are. Not bad. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Again, I know they're slightly different. We could probably even paint them a warmer color to maybe match up a little bit better. Because this has a nice warm wood there. We can probably paint it a nice color to match, or like a bronzy color or something. Alright, so let's go ahead, just for the fun of it, let's do the other type of roof. Yeah, we're gonna do the settler roofs. Okay, so I think I'm gonna need to do some half roofs for this. So, let's go ahead and try this. So again, I'm gonna have to take this apart after I'm done, because I want her to have the joy of putting this together herself. But, you know what, it's good because it gives me a way to test out the build and see how things are going. And what I need to work on. Alright, so let me place the correct roofs down. I don't even have the side pieces on, but I'm not going to bother. Because, again, I want to do all this stuff with her. So, because I'm so proud of her. She's having so much fun learning to build, and I'm not going to take that joy away from her. Yeah, it's not going to snap right. Come on, snap correctly. I'm just going to place this here temporarily. Get that to snap. Alright. Let me pick this up. Okay, so let's go ahead and take our walls right here. I hate that I stop flying anytime I open up my inventory. That is really, really obnoxious. Okay, so come on. And sometimes I just stop flying for no clear reason. Let's see. It's going to be uncooperative now. Because of course it is. Come on. Place correctly. Place correctly. Alright, so I might have to finagle this a little bit more to get it to do what I needed to do. So let's just go ahead and place this roof tile back. And then we're going to pick it up after we've gotten our corner pieces in here. Or our side pieces, I should say. Okay. It's still being uncooperative. I think actually that made it worse. Yeah. Isn't that funny? It's just like sometimes the game wants to be irritating with you. Huh. Yeah, it's not even like trying to latch on there. Okay, well then, we're gonna have to get even fancier and place a different roof and then get it to snap to the other roof because it snapped to this fine. Come on. Alright, so let's see. If I place this here, come on. Come on. Oh, this game. There are days. I mean, the sad part is this is better than Ark used to be and Survival Evolved, but it's still one of the most obnoxious building things I have ever had to deal with. I mean, every building game has something obnoxious, except for 7 Days to Die. 7 Days to Die has probably the best building mechanic in a survival game like this. Come on. There we go. Okay, so I think it was being fussy about what wall it wanted to snap to. Let me put the other ceiling back before I take out this orange one here. Just in case. Come on. Snap. Snap pretty for me. Okay, fine. The game is just being so uncooperative today. I don't get it. Yeah! Ugh. Stuff you have to do sometimes, I swear. Okay, so this is the nice thing about this particular style. So let's go ahead and get this in. Come on. And, you know, Castles and Keeps has its own little triangular piece, but I like this one. I think it's pretty nice. So let's go ahead here and get this to the correct piece. Oh, actually, it needs to go back one more. Oh, okay, I'm gonna need more of these then. So then, there we go. That's the correct piece. So let me go ahead and make, let me see, do I have any more? I don't think I do. Let me make roof. Just go ahead and make, here we go. Just 2 more. Yeah, I'll just make a couple more so we can kind of see how it looks. Because this is going to be far less mentally irritating to me. Even if it doesn't look as good, in my personal opinion. Well, I don't know. I mean, it does look good, but it's, I don't know. It's so hard to say. Okay, you know what? Snap to that, and then we'll deal with it. Okay. So then I can go ahead and pick this up. Oh, good. Yeah, I did need a couple more quarters. because of this. So, from the inside, it's going to look better too. I mean, you're usually not going to notice something like this unless you're right up on it, but you can see from the inside it looks better. It looks really neat. On this one, not so much, not so much. So, oh, personally, I'm leaning towards this being our better option for her. Even if the color's not right, it's just everything else about it is pretty darn good. Again, I'm gonna let her choose, but you can see, you know, everything just kind of comes together. You just kind of have to play with it, finagle it, and like look at a picture and in your head dissect where the different pieces go, what it should and could become. I'm just gonna go ahead and change the time of day, you know, and figure out like what pieces do I have that I can turn this into. And yeah, so I think it's pretty good. It looks very similar. Definitely the square footage on this isn't going to match the square footage of the real house, but yeah, something. So, and then what I'll probably do up here is, if we go with this one, I can make the eaves. Let me go ahead and do this here. Let me grab these, and let me just do the roof here. And we could do the rakes, too. The rakes shouldn't be a problem with this. Oh, although if you have eaves and rakes, yeah, it is a problem. So, let's see here. Let's try this. So I could either do the eaves, or if I don't want to do the eaves, I mean, that does look nice, but again, if you do the rakes, it doesn't line up. There's going to be a gap, and it's highly obnoxious. Oh, gosh, it's going to do that thing again. There we go. So the eaves are nice. Come on, really? Come on. Ark. 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 So yeah, I think I made a couple of... Did I make some rakes? Let me see. Yeah, I did. So you'll see what I mean when I put these rakes on here. So, if I go ahead and change it to the right angle, there is no piece that fits right there, so you just end up with like a small square missing, and it is obnoxious. Really, really obnoxious. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick this up. But yeah, I'm not sure, because what I could do is let me pick this one up here. Let me grab a wood pillar. Good. We do have some. And just kind of put that all along. Although I don't know if I like that or not. That might be worse. Let me go ahead in the middle piece. I'll just take it off. So we have no eave. Yeah, I actually think where this piece is, it's probably worse. Let's go and pick this up. There we go. Oof. Yeah, it's hard to say. But anyway, so, you know, just kind of testing and building and all that kind of good stuff. So, a lot of fun with this, but yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and take all of this apart. And I'm gonna recommend the settler roofs to her. I'm gonna leave a lot of this up, but we'll just pick this up. And then she can learn how to do all this stuff. because this is my favorite part of Ark. And instead of one big building project that lags everybody, I like lots of little building projects. Alright, so let me go ahead and pick this up here. We're gonna leave a few things, but pick up most of it. I'm gonna leave that one because it was such a whiny brat to get to snap into place. And then I'm gonna put all this stuff in the box. And then she and I can work on that together. There we go. Alright, so then I will show you the other project that I helped with. Oh, hello, and do I play alone? No, I don't play alone. I am so sorry, I just saw the chat. I am so bad at looking at chat. No, I usually play with friends, but this is a private server that belongs to a buddy of mine, so we have fun. We do a lot of fun things. We all have, like, very similar tastes, and some of my friends are learning how to build. So the gun that I'm using is the Structures, what is this? Cyber Structures Plus. So if you played Survival Evolved, it is basically S+. Let me go ahead and walk. Alright, so my friend wanted a spot because she wanted to breed the Veil Winds, and she was really excited about it. So we went and built her a second home, because her other home, she's got a lot of big stuff breeding there, and it's kind of a small space. So she wanted to build a small home, sort of like some of the small homes I've been building. But she went and she found a blueprint on her own. It was from Survival Evolved. We didn't realize that when she sent me the video. And then we started watching it and we went, oh, these measurements are different. The size of the blocks is different. This isn't going to line up right. What do we do? So we ended up modifying it a lot, and yeah, I think it turned out really good. I'm going to go ahead and turn around and show you her place. So we started watching the video and we started putting it together. And then we said, you know what? Let's just finish it on our own. So I'm going to go ahead and fly. So it's pretty neat. I like it a lot. It's really dark inside because we haven't had a chance to... Well, I think she actually might have put a bunch of lights down. But I think it turned out kind of neat. It's very modified from the original, and we used a lot of the rustic pieces because she wanted rustic. But it's got a lot of stone, which I think, excuse me, in my personal opinion, depending on where you're building, it's important to use a lot of stone. At least on your bottom floor. I mean, if you get something really big, it's probably going to numb through anyway, but yeah. So I'm going to talk to her about fixing some of this stuff. We were just kind of slapping it together, and she's very happy with it, but I thought she did really well. And yeah, like I said, lots of rustic on it. Let me go ahead and walk. She's got her little barn area here. We don't have a door in. We should probably put one in just to keep things from eating her critters. And there she is. So we followed the instructions, and it had like one high ceilings, but I think we're gonna take that out and kind of redo that a bit because it's a little, you know. Oh, I see what she did. She switched it up here and put that there. She can actually do that over here too and give herself some more space. But for now, she has a ramp up, and this wasn't in the plans, but I took and added a spiral staircase extension, basically, so she can go all the way up. And up here, it's awfully cute. So we've got a little spots here. But this was before we had the castles and keep stuff. So, pretty neat. You know, like I said, based off of an Ark Survival Evolved design. So this has actually got pretty good lighting. And like I said, she is super happy with it. And that's really what's important, is finding something you're happy with. You know, I know a lot of people, when they start building, they make pretty inside, and that's fantastic. If it's pretty inside, it makes you happy, that's wonderful. I mean, you're going to spend most of your time inside your building anyway. I like pretty outside, and then I figure out the inside afterwards. So, yeah, like some of my other projects, you know, I do. The windows you can't really see out of all that well, but looks pretty on the outside, you know what I mean? So yeah, she's very proud of this one. I think it's lovely. And the cool part was she was actually going to build next to me, and it's a good thing I didn't see this spot first, because then she got to live in it. Where did I leave? Where did I leave my griffin? Where did I leave my griffin, guys? Let me look. Is it in my inventory and I'm just dumb? Nope. Alright. This is Omega teleporters. Absolutely fantastic. Teleport dynasty location. It's the best thing for people like me that just kind of leave stuff everywhere. Ugh, gotta give it some more space. And kind of like, you know, forget their head if it wasn't attached. Nerva. There we go. That's why on this server, you don't want to name anything like Parasaur because, or whatever, you know, the generic dino name, because we'll knock something out and then leave the area and, like, you know, make sure it has enough narcotics and just leave. And then teleport it to us, because we're like, you know, it's a private server. It's like, it's in stasis. It's fine. It's fine. We're bad. But yeah, so I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, she lucked out because on one of my walks, I found this spot and I built, and she was looking for somewhere near, and then I flew up over that, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so gorgeous. So this is where I am. It's not far away. But I still love, well, one of my houses. I still love this spot. I mean, oh, that view! The view, I love it. I love it. So again, this was another one where I took a picture of a house, and it was a Pinterest picture, and I realized later it was AI generated because things just didn't match up and they made no sense. But it was enough of an image that I could make something kind of cool with it. And I hadn't made anything in the rustic stone yet, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do this, you know. So you know, it had impossible angles and whatnot, but I'm like, I can set this up. You know, I got the rustic forge and all that kind of good stuff. I had the dock originally in a different spot, and I'm like, no, let me just line it up. I kind of actually miss how I had it because it came out and then went down. And I moved everything over, and there's a part of me that kind of wishes I hadn't done that. But at the same time, it's like super convenient to use the dock. So, you know, I did a lot of little outdoor stuff. And then my fencing, she loved my fencing. And she's like, how did you do this? And I'm like, oh, well, it's mostly pillars. She's like, what? I'm like, it's mostly pillars. So it's, and a few, like half walls. So I did like a thick pillar and then a bunch of thin pillars. And then I was like, what was on top of it is like mostly skins. So, you know, from the tall tales stuff. So I've got the frontier. This is the wasteland, and these are the steampunk ones. So yeah, that's steampunk there. So I just kind of built a wall and then changed how it looked with the skins to make it look a little bit more interesting. But it's basically a stone wall. I was a little sad that the 2x2 gate, I couldn't put any skins on it, but I could the door, so I did the frontier door. And yeah, so it works. It's kept out everything so far. I mean, something could definitely come in from the water, but I just basically wanted to not worry about things. I mean, it's actually hasn't been too bad over here. Really, the only predators I've seen so far are bears. And I don't think there's a wyvern spawn around here, and if there was, it doesn't really matter. It would get in anyway, so it's a wyvern. But you can see I'm right next to the ice lake over the murder snow. Under here, there's actually an entrance real close to the house, but under here's where all that crystal is. Ridiculous amount of crystal. So yeah, I mean, this is right at the murder snow. I've got a ridiculous amount of, so yeah, okay, murder, very close to murder snow. I've got a ridiculous amount of fortitude, so I'm not even worried about it. As long as it's daytime, I'll be absolutely fine. So yeah, this cave. We were talking about it, and I'm like, oh man, I remember before, you know, the Pokeballs, cryopods, whatever, that I had to take my Quetzal, you know, on Survival Evolved, load it up with a bunch of Ankies, because I think it was the weight of the Anki itself was what counted, not the weight that the Anki was carrying. Or it was the other way around, I cannot remember, but I'm pretty sure it was the weight of the Anki itself. So I could load it up with as much metal or crystal as it could carry, but I remember flying from Herbivore Island here, getting my Quetzal in, and unloading like 4 Ankies and having to have, I mean, this was before otters, I had to have an air conditioner on it, and I think I had penguins that I'd have on follow while I was out getting the crystal. I might have even tried a Dimetrodon. I don't remember. I think I did. But, you know, and I had like the best fur gear I could possibly make. And yeah, it was hectic, and it was a long trip back with all that crystal. And yes, now it's just kind of like, yeah, whatever. I've got it. We're good. But yeah, so I mean, I like this. This is really cute. This is my fun little spot. I got a couple more too. The view is super important to me. So, you know, like I said, I like doing outside and inside, but primarily I'm focusing on outside. So let me do my outpost 2. Here we go. Put that away. So this is outpost 2, and something I learned early on in Ark was about flipping your walls to add texture. So this is based on my own build that I came up with in Survival Evolved, but again, because things don't line up the same, it doesn't look exactly the same, not quite right, but I gotta show you this view before I go and look at the house. Look at that view. Oh, how gorgeous is that? That waterfall is lovely. So I put like fishing stuff down there. I love the fishing stuff. It makes me so happy. But yeah, I mean, this is an absolutely lovely spot right here. Of course, when I jumped down the waterfall and walked a little bit further, I was like, okay, that's an even better spot. But yeah, so I mean, this is, I did use the rustic roofs. I don't really like the color. I should probably paint them slate. I saw that. But I like how the house turned out. It's really cozy. Like I said, I wanted to use as many vanilla pieces as I could, but because of the fact that I don't have the right roof texture with the wood, I did the rustic stuff. But yeah, I think I'll grab the paint gun and paint that roof, because that color is offensive. Or I may just switch my roof types. So you can see I did, you know, a lot of like wood pillars to add texture and color, all that kind of good stuff. So, and that, still, I love the frontier stuff. But again, I did, you know, the stone here down at the bottom to keep everything safe, and it added sort of a fake basement. Also, quarter stairs, greatest thing ever. But yeah, you can see, got my nice little bedroom up here. This is the only sort of modern thing I have up here, and I kind of hate that it's up here. But I couldn't really find another good spot for it. I don't really even need it here. I don't know why I had it, but I grabbed it. But these are the fireplaces from the Cyber Structures Plus. Where am I from? I am from like the DC metropolitan area originally, so let's see. So yeah, so this is the settings in here. Yeah, so you can adjust the sound level, so it's not super loud roaring fire, just a nice crackling fire, and I like that a lot better. For some reason I changed all this, tried to get rid of all the scratchy sound on these, and I'm still hearing the scratchy sound, and it's annoying me. But yeah, so then down here, this is actually the first floor technically, but because of the way you come in, it looks sort of like a little basement, and I put like all my technical stuff down here. See, I put the bear. I love the bear. This just makes me so happy. Anyway, so I need some rugs or something in here, but yeah, I liked it. It's cute inside. The windows are really nice, but you can't really see out of them. I kind of didn't care. I just wanted it to look pretty. Because there's a beautiful view down here. You can even see my fishing equipment. But it was like, outside more important than inside. I know, that's silly, but I mean, because you can't even see here. But I could probably switch the angle of this roof now, too, that I know I have more options. I think this is... I want to say this is the 45, and I could... And I think I should definitely do the 25. Let me see if I can stand on top of this. Switch it to a 25, and I think that would look much better, and I can kind of shift stuff, adjust the size, all that kind of good stuff. And then I can actually see out the windows. And I think I would like that. So I'll probably be redoing all of that at some point, switching to the castles, forts, and keeps. You know, use that. But yeah, and then I use this rustic bridge again. I love, love, love the rustic bridges. They snap together so nicely, and you can just kind of put them everywhere. So you'll see, like, because, you know, I was doing my whole walking thing, I set up a really great walking path over here so I could get into the snow. Pull out my sword. I never know what's going to show up over here because it's kind of nasty. Yeah, that was kind of the worst part about it, was I did have a Carno come nibble on my building a bit when I was in the middle of building it. So I am kind of scared to log out there or breed anything there because I didn't want to put up a fence there. I feel like it would just ruin the aesthetics, which I know. That is very stupid, but I don't care. So yeah, here, let me go ahead and pick this up. There we go. So yeah, so you place these on each end. You get like little things that let you line it up with the rustic. And then you can... So like if I were to place this, you can see it's kind of showing me where everything's lining up. But I'm going to switch it to this, and we're going to do boop, and there you go. It just snaps like that. And it goes a pretty far distance too, not super far, but far enough. So, yeah, I mean, neat stuff. I really miss Eco stuff. I know she is making her own games, so she decided not to do Survival Evolved, but if she were to ever need like a nice influx of cash and come back to Ark temporarily to bring her stuff in to Ark so she can finish her game, you know, I would happily pay a premium for her stuff because it's always my most cherished stuff to build with in Ark. She makes good quality stuff. Alright, so yeah, this was the other spot I found that was so pretty. But rock elementals do spawn down here, so I wanted to build a wood house, or mostly wood house, so probably a good thing I didn't build down here. Yeah, like I said, I was trying to basically emulate a build I'd already done in Survival Evolved. But I mean, look at that view. You can see the ocean from here. This is just lovely. This map is it's so wonderful. I'm sure in my previous videos I had shared this spot before. I don't care. It's pretty. I'm always going to show you like the pretty spots that I find. I should probably show you on the map too, huh? Yeah, that would be smart. So there you go. Latitude 58.5, longitude 54.3. So this spot over there, my buddy had already built. He wanted to see what he could do with the waterfall. Built a house partially in a waterfall. Turned out pretty cool. He wanted to see if it was, you know, doable. So I'll just pull out my griffin. We'll fly over there. He's working on a project that's going to be utterly massive. Oh, see, this would be a spot where you could do something like that too. Use a cliff platform. Interesting little hidey hole down here. Whee. Okay, so he builds monstrous lag buildings. This one's one of his better ones. Usually when he builds something, we all kind of have to stay away from it, but this one's not too bad. He really likes his round buildings too. He wanted something like that with a cliff platform where the waterfall was incorporated in the house, and I think that's pretty cool. I like that. So, let's see here. I can show you over by my friend whose house I was showing you earlier that we were putting together. He has another really cool structure. Let's see. Dream home. There we go. And he's planning on putting a train that wraps all the way down and around, which we were all like, oh no, lag! But, you know, hey, it's a server, so. There we go. So, he's been having some fun here. This little train station. I like what it is right down here. Because he's like, I have a pool in my house. And I'm like, yeah, that is super duper cool. I remember the artifact used to be down here in Survival Evolved. So, it's pretty cool. But yeah, he says he's going to turn this into a train station. It's really neat. He did a good job. He did a very good job. So far, it's not super laggy either, which, you know, like I said, sometimes this place is, it's just like, well, I can't go to that section of the map anymore. I mean, for him, it's not bad because it's like once you're there all the time and everything's loaded in, you're not going to lag. But if you're flying past it, you're like, and there goes my frame rate. And, you know, like, we were playing on the island and he had built some sort of massive monstrosity. And we'd put in a bunch of mods with furniture and stuff like that. And it was like, oh, hey, look, one of those fancy dragons is on the map. Let's go get... Okay, never mind. It's by his house. I can't go over there. It was just like... It was a hot mess, so... Another, you know, benefit to building small buildings, you know. Got my raft living. And everything I need is on here. Except for the few small things that are like, hey, yeah, can't be built on a platform. Good luck to you. Which, sadly, there's quite a few things like that. But yeah, anyway, I want to thank you for joining me. I hope you had a good time. I actually need to run, so thank you, and...